Welcome to Affiliate Voices. My name is Greg Hoffman. I'm here with my partner, Daniel M. Clark. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. We are going to interview our friend Paul Snyder from offers.com. Hello, Paul.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So I know you from offers.com, but that's not the parent name.
Yes. So offers.com was acquired about 2 years ago by Ziff Davis, who's a historical print publisher. It was moved online the last couple of decades, obviously following the trends there, and owned a number of properties, including PC Mag, IGN, Ask Men, and more recently, What to Expect, Everyday Health, and as of late last year, Mashable.
Okay, so tell us what you do at offers.com or Ziff Davis.
Absolutely. I'm the director of partner management, so my job is to work with affiliate teams like yourself. I have a number of relationships myself, as well as manage my team. And what we do within Ziff Davis is we work across, we manage all affiliate relationships across all of our properties. It's kind of a one-stop shop to get access to coupon sites, content sites, reviews, so on and so forth.
Okay. And Apogee has been working with Offers for at least 8 years. I think we've known each other for about that long. When did you start there? When did you get your start in affiliate marketing?
I started in mid-2008, so that sounds about like when we would have met.
Okay. So this is the good part. I always tell my merchants that we do work with coupon partners. We only work with a handful of coupon partners, and we reject the hundreds or thousands of other sites that claim to be coupon partners. You are one of the few. So you are here, there's no pressure, but you are representing the coupon industry today. How do you feel about that?
I feel honored and a little bit nervous. And part of that is, I think you have good reasons to not work with everyone out there. I think just like any channel, you need to have kind of trusted partners. So I'm happy to be representing those.
Okay, so I tell everybody that I value the coupon affiliates at the end of the funnel about 2%, and that's what you get paid. Even if the commission is 20 or 30%, I'm going to reserve that VIP, sometimes default commission, for the partners that are going to influence the customers. Your site clearly closes it, and so we value our relationship with our coupon partners, but only 2%. So are you okay with that?
We'll always fight for more, but we certainly recognize the value we're providing is, after a user's been vetted, and there's obviously clear interest. So we recognize that it's not going to be the same that you can afford to, say, a content publisher or a blogger who's maybe introducing a product for the first time. And our goal is to ultimately provide value to justify moving up from that 2%. If we're bringing in more new users, if we are introducing people to new products, things like that.
Okay, you guys are very strong with the paid search trademark plus terms. You are one of the very few. There's only 2 or 3 partners like that in any of my programs. Talk to us about that kind of space. What your competition, what do you see out there?
Probably our biggest challenge is within the competition, the kind of fly-by-night guys that pop up. We affectionately refer to as whack-a-mole. Work with you guys on the sites that pop up, bid aggressively for 3 days, promoting God knows what in their ad copy and on their site. We collectively, find them and root them out, and then, 2 days later, someone else pops in. So that's definitely the biggest challenge. And obviously, because there's a cost component to us, when those guys come in, that has pretty significant effects on our margins and how we run things. So that's where we really collaborate with you guys and kind of create the best user experience. And yeah, something where we are closing that sale and the user is having good satisfaction of, hey, I found a product I like, now I found a deal I like, I'm getting what I was told I was going to like, and just having a smooth process in that regard.
Okay. Daniel?
So that's Offers. Tell us about Paul. Where did you come from? How did you get to Offers? And how long have you been in the industry yourself? Did you start with Offers in the industry, or were you here before that?
That is a very complicated question. I think, I'm not even entirely sure, I got my start as an intern while I was in college, and unbeknownst to me, an affiliate. I was working with a smaller company that was basically doing some tracking technology to get getting consumer packaged goods retailers connected with with online retail stores back in kind of the infancy of e-commerce. So that was kind of how I got my start. After college, eventually moved to Los Angeles and got into infomercial marketing, which has a lot of parallels in terms of tracking and attribution and things like that. After moving back to Austin, I worked in a similar role. Actually managed, worked in affiliate on the advertiser side. So we had a number of products that were in the affiliate channel. So a number of the networks, I was working with them, even though I didn't really know what they were. And then from there, I transitioned over to offers.com, and actually I joined the team before it was even offers.com. The parent company just acquired the domain, so I was kind of part of the initial build out there.
Oh, nice. What kind of things do you wish you knew before you started, or when you started, rather?
I feel like I've a lot of what I've learned has kind of changed as the industry has grown. What do I wish I had known then? I think where the trends were heading. Obviously, the industry has come a long way, from 10 years ago until today, and some of that you kind of see coming. But there was definitely other things that have kind of come out of the blue, and whether it's social media or anything else, just kind of being able to better predict where the trends are heading and kind of get ahead of that.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of naturally leads into what I was going to ask next, which is what kind of changes do you think you want to see in the industry going forward?
So one thing we've seen a lot recently is a focus on attribution, and I think that's very important for an advertiser to understand where their marketing dollars are being spent and make sure they're being spent in the right place. And kind of on the surface, that I think could be seen as a real risk for a company like ours. But part of the strategy of Ziff Davis with their acquisitions and the content is really to provide kind of something along the entire customer journey. So whatever our partners are specifically looking for, we have some sort of match for that. And I think we're well positioned to, as attribution evolves and becomes more of an influence on where the dollars are put, we can be along that entire journey. And as we open up with Greg talking about, coupon sites getting a lower percentage, that's fine, especially if we're able to make more higher in the funnel. So that's kind of where we see things headed.
Okay.
So we have attribution models in all of our programs, and you're part of it. And what we do is, like I said, you get your 2%. But if the default commission or a VIP commission for a content affiliate, a blogger that influences that site, that customer, they're going to get 10%. Their commission is going to be reduced by 2%. You're still going to get your 2% if you close that sale. And so the blogger still gets 8% instead of getting nothing. And sometimes it's hard to explain that to the bloggers. They're like, well, I don't want to share it with a coupon site. Like, okay, well, this is how the last click attribution model has worked forever. You've always, in almost all of your programs over the years, you've lost conversions to coupon sites. Now I'm offering you the majority of that commission back. You just have to give a little piece because the coupon site did their job.
Now
we definitely see that.
A sale.
Right. We definitely see that. Yeah, we do see there's especially if there's if there's not coupons or just a bad experience on the end of the transaction, we know users drop off. So I think for everyone it's better to get something than nothing.
Are you seeing that more with programs that they've got attribution models in place?
We're seeing that more and more. I think right now it's kind of a patchwork. Sometimes it's tracked through the network, sometimes it's through internal metrics. So I think that's one thing that'll evolve and become a bit more of an industry standard in terms of what are all the data points, how does it all get tracked, and how does it all net out to the affiliates at the end of the day.
So with us, yours is you're still getting what you would have gotten. With some other models that I've seen, you would have been leapfrogged. You would have not gotten anything because you closed that sale. I think mine is a little bit more fair. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that there's different ways to do it. There's coupon elimination, and then there's coupon splitting or commission splitting, and that's what we do.
Yep.
And I think ultimately, that'll lead to more dollars for the channel, because if we are introducing and doing the branding things, and we're also closing sales, there's real value to advertisers, and there can be multiple affiliates involved with that. And that's great for the industry.
Yeah, conversion for everybody goes up, makes everybody more happy, makes everybody more incentivized to promote more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've met at numerous affiliate summit shows and probably share sell think tanks. And so you're out there, you're building relationships. You want to go out and be seen and meet new merchants. What kind of strategy do you have with building those relationships?
I think the biggest thing is just establishing rapport with our partners, and specifically with individuals, because they are typically our kind of portal into that advertiser and their world, and they all have different goals and objectives, both for the company as well as personally. Kind of getting to know what makes them tick, what do they care about, what are their stresses and pain points, and how can we kind of fit into that puzzle and help alleviate that. So that's really why I love meeting folks in person. Is you really don't get that over email. You're going to get much more the kind of tactical to-dos, but there's usually a story behind that, and that's kind of where the magic happens for us, where we can really understand, this is where you're coming from, this is where your company's headed, and this is how we can fit in.
Yeah, you and I have a pretty good relationship. You probably dread my Monday morning emails. Like, oh God, what did we do now?
I do have a bit of a slight heart attack every time I see an email pop up from you at a bad time.
but it's always good, and you always take care of it, and that's why we like working with you.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing we've always valued for myself, my team, and our company is really the responsiveness and the relationships, and you and all the other advertisers and agencies, you have to know who you're working with and be able to trust them. Otherwise it all just gets very frustrating, and nothing really gets done. So
where can we see you? You don't have to give away any trade secrets. You don't have to let your competitors know where you're going to find these new merchants, but where can people meet you? Where are you going to be for the rest of the year?
We will be at, link share, Rakuten's Deal Maker in June in New York. We'll probably have some folks at Affiliate Summit following that. Of course, CJU in the fall, and look for us on a random roadshow on TBD locations throughout the rest of the year.
Right. So I'm going to put you on the spot, and you don't have to answer this. You could say no, but do you have a favorite network?
We love all of our networks equally.
Great answer.
I would say I think they all have strengths and weaknesses. We're pretty network agnostic. We have a pretty big back-end data system. So as long as we really have access to internal systems, it's all pretty much the same to us. We definitely value the people behind the networks, and in almost every case there's great folks there on the support teams and the account development teams. So can't say I really have a favorite.
So it doesn't have to be a network, but this is because I know affiliates are going to be watching this. What do you think of programs that are not on a major network? Maybe they're on a third-party network or some type of shopping cart. I would consider you one of those larger, big brand type of affiliates. Do you work with those smaller third-party networks and shopping cart referral programs?
We do. I think we have, I would say more than dozens, probably hundreds of relationships. So it definitely touches a lot of smaller programs. Now it's really the biggest cost to us is the setup time. So as long as there's a compelling reason and an opportunity there, we're more than happy to set that up. And so the networks, the bigger networks are great because you kind of get more bang for your buck there. But we recognize everyone has different needs, so we're kind of happy to work with partners where they feel most comfortable.
All right, that will do it for this episode conversation. What do I call this, Daniel?
It's an episode. Do we call this a series? We don't call live a series. We call this a series.
That will do it for this episode of Affiliate Voices. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thanks, guys. Paul.